Hello.
Hello.
We are back for another
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
I'm in a different place, in the same office.
I'm in the same place.
Yes. Because in 1 week I have moved.
Yes.
Because moving can happen.
Yeah, but you could also not.
I don't like to move. It's a lot of work. Oh, my mic just my mic just stopped. I should probably turn it down a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
alright. Like I maxed out my volume in OBS.
Yeah, your character was in his talking animation for no reason.
Yeah. Being moved means my setup it is still the same. Like nothing has really drastically moved, but it's
Yeah.
still changed a little bit. So it takes some getting used to. Let's put it that way. Settings have changed around. Like it's a mess, but I'm figuring it out. Yeah, shall we go? Shall we talk more about moving, or shall we go on to the news? Because there is a bunch.
We might as well go to the news, right? Unless you have something to talk about with moving, but
Well, always, because it sucks, takes a lot of work, and overall just really is annoying to do. Because, well, first of all, you have to get all your stuff from one. First, you have to pack everything. That's a pain in the ass to do to begin with. Everything needs to be packed, put in boxes, that entire thing. Then, the worst part, you have to move everything. And just when you think you're done, because you have moved, you have done everything you needed to do, everything's in its new place.
no, you haven't.
Surprise, you now get to unpack everything.
Yep.
And almost almost worse in my opinion. Because, well, first of all, I still need to put sun absorbing tiles in my room. Second of all, I still need to just do a lot of stuff. Like, almost everything needs to be put on and just worked. Everything needs to be built in. Furniture at least is there, so my bed is there. So I can at least, just sleep. But my desk has to be built up, everything has to be built up in order to properly live there. And that takes some time. But yeah. In the meantime, I'm also trying to get a job. And last couple of days I have been going to companies because, well, companies apparently are interested. And today I've had phone calls with a recruitment agency, so I now have two of them working for me. And I've got a second talk, like a second meeting with an actual company, for a surprise there. And yeah, engineering. But yeah, basically with that, it's onto the news, and let's start it sad with
Yay.
the passing of three major, well, big people in the entertainment industry. It started with Ozzy Osbourne that passed away. Then we had George Kooijmans, which was the singer and guitarist from the Golden Earring. If you know Radar Love, you know the Golden Earring. So that. And today Hulk Hogan passed away. All in like within a week, within like 4 days, which is a big surprise for me because they always die incredibly quickly. It's like nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh well, there go 5.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's never like a small amount of people that pass away. It's always a lot, and that's. I guess it could take some getting used to. But from the singer of the Golden Earring, he had ALS, which is basically means that I think your muscles just slowly but surely get weaker,
Yes.
which means that your time is at that point limited anyway. You're not gonna get. It isn't curable. It is just probably the end of the road, which is even sadder knowing that. And as for Ozzy Osbourne, big rock legend, so that's also sad. And Hulk Hogan, even though I'm not much of a guy that watches wrestling, I'm not sure about you, Jim, but yeah, it is. It's still. I mean, they were. I think they were all in their 70s, or they're all. Yeah, I think around that age, so already older, but still. With that sad news out of the way, because I have a
Actually,
bunch. What?
I've seen wrestling like once, and it was the funniest shit. The commentary on that, it makes no fucking sense.
It's wrestling.
I don't know. I don't know if it was no. Actually, no. That wasn't wrestling. That was boxing. But still, the commentary was just really fucking funny.
Yeah, but I mean, so far I haven't really watched it because, well, it's not really my cup of tea. I should have grabbed a cup of tea. Oh well. Yeah, onto some weird Dutch news that cameras have been placed at some viaducts because apparently there were a couple of, like, there was concrete thrown down from them. They suspect that. So they put up cameras because drivers were colliding with it. If you throw rocks and concrete off of a viaduct, cars are underneath, they're gonna hit that, which is trouble. We don't want that. So they put up cameras to hopefully spot whoever's doing it. Not sure if they will, but there's always hope. And if you are running out of the hope you had, you'll get a new hope. I just wanted to make that joke. So yeah, that's that bit. I'm just gonna go off the list that I've made because I've made a list as per usual. And then Jim, after that, you can go with your list. Then we might have some random things, but an airplane, they exist, you know. As you can see, for the viewers, you can see airplanes exist, right? Yeah. Well, a Russian one, an AN-24, from the top of my head, has recently crashed in Russia.
Really?
With around 40 people, like sources differ on the amount of people that were on board, but it went wrong when they had a second go around. Like they tried to land, failed, then tried to land again, and during that time they lost radar contact, and they have found the burning remains. So yeah.
Is that good or bad?
Well, the thing is, I have looked at. I've looked at the article and read it properly, and the article, like the plane, the AN-24 was designed in the 50s, built in the 70s. So that begs the question: is it like, knowing Russia and how they maintain their infrastructure? I guess it's only a matter of time before that happened, where that fully just flopped. Because Russia doesn't really take care of their infrastructure at all. They mainly just build it and then let it deteriorate over time. Because why spend money on the infrastructure if you can put it in your own back pocket? Yay for corruption. That's a problem.
Honestly based.
Well, it depends on what the corruption is for. Like critical infrastructure, right? Such as roads, railroads, planes, transport in general, logistics, power. Those need constant a constant flow of cash to, let it be maintained and prevent problems with potholes, railway delays, planes falling out of the sky, power grids failing, that type of stuff. Stuff you don't really want. But if you have rampant corruption, then good luck. All the money that's supposed to go to it, and Russia's really good at this, they put a lot of money aside, and like 90% of that money ends up in the pockets of the politicians or the contractors, and barely anything is actually used for its purpose, which would be either roads or planes or development of new stuff. Which it also doesn't help that they are suffering from the sanctions that have been placed on them a while ago from that whole entire, what they call a special military operation, but what in reality is a full-on war.
Yeah, but do you know how much money that cost?
It costs billions, but
Yeah.
what would you rather have, a couple of happy politicians or a
Well,
bunch of
if
suffering
you
people?
are the politician,
You're probably already getting paid enough. You're a politician.
war is expensive, Joe.
Yeah, that is. Well, the thing is, what Russia uses for war, which, of course, Russia loves outdated technology, right? They are heavily into using armored trains. And armored trains, in theory, they're a good idea. Trains, real efficient way to transport massive amounts of objects. So you can transport a lot of fuel, food, weapons, all that stuff. There's one problem though. What do trains run on?
On rails.
Yes. No matter how much you protect your train with a lot of armor, a lot of guns, a couple dudes with a crowbar can come along, undo your track, and all of a sudden, whoops, train comes to a halt. Or worst case scenario, train derails. Whoops. Now you have no use for your armored train, and because you slapped all that armor on top, good luck lifting it off the ground and get it back on the rails. You run into those problems.
Yes.
And Ukraine has shown that they can hit the trains.
Like Kabinari of the Iron Fortress.
I am not familiar with that at all.
I think that's what it was. It's like an anime with like 4 episodes, and they have the Iron Fortress, which is a train with like a bunch of armor and guns on it. It's against zombies though, so you can justify it. Like the enemies are the enemies are not smart enough to sabotage the rail,
Yeah, but
and
any
also they don't
person.
really use the train.
Well, if they use it as a fortress, like we have this heavily armored
Yeah,
train, we're gonna use it as
yeah,
a
actually,
stationary
yeah,
fortress. That
yeah.
works.
Basically, it is.
Like that can still work. It's still heavily armored.
Yeah, yeah. They basically do. They use it as like a base of operation, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but most likely you are gonna run into the problem of I am like let's move. Oh, we can't because there are no tracks to move it on. Like yeah, that's a problem. That's an infrastructure problem that you're suffering from. Infrastructure is almost as important in war as the actual tanks and the actual weapons. Because good
Yeah.
luck winning a war when all your weapons aren't there. Like that like that's a problem. If
Mm-hmm.
you can have all the guns in the world, but if you cannot get them into position, then you cannot win That makes it impossible. And I think that's also what's happening with Russia right now. They're banking on their armored trains, but if they fail, then all the offensives that they are trying to push fail with it. Then you don't have a stable supply chain anymore, and just like with a shop with your local supermarket, right?
Mm-hmm.
They may have a wide assortment of products, like you can get everything. But it's really annoying if a lot of the times that everything is out of stock and just not available. That immediately like throws off everything.
Yep.
It annoys you, it annoys me, it annoys everybody. But does that matter at that point? No. Well, it kind of does, but at the same time, you are just there for your basic groceries, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's basically what Russia is suffering from right now. And of course, it all has to do with Ukraine and with everything that's happening, because it doesn't stop. It's not like Russia's suddenly going to stop with the production, like with the production of tanks. It's not like they're gonna stop with any anything at all. They are still gonna continue with that. Like they are not suddenly going to say, "Oops, I'm sorry, we're not gonna bother with it anymore. We are just going to go away now. Goodbye." Like it's not like they're suddenly gonna do that. That
Yeah, no, that seems unlikely.
although arguably it would be very funny.
Maybe, yeah.
Like if they suddenly were like, "Oh, sorry, my bad. We're going. Bye." That will be that will be fun, but sadly that won't happen because well, guess what? They want to win.
Yeah, well.
And I have a slight feeling that that's in the end not gonna happen. Purely for the reason of well, it's Russia against NATO, and that comes with its own amount of issues, you know? Like, it's kind of Russia against the West all over again. Like the Cold War. History repeats itself very often, apparently. Especially if you don't learn from it. Because you know there is a saying that people that don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And here we are again. Talk about a possible World War III. That so far hasn't happened. And how far are we along? 20 minutes. Do you think it's long enough into the video for YouTube to allow weird stuff, or?
Probably.
Alright,
I mean,
because
I don't know what's about to happen, but
because boy, do I have something to talk about. And that is that in the Netherlands, a man got 15 months of jail time for doing stuff with a horse.
what the fuck?
Yes. Apparently he was going to meet a woman who he met online, and he said he was seeing if he could still have sex. So he decided, let's practice with a horse.
Why, of course.
Yeah. Little problem. Illegal. Like, it is not legal to have sex with a horse. Like, that's... And then you get 15 months of jail time. So, in my opinion, still a very light sentence. I'd much rather have multiple years, if not longer, of jail time. For that, because it's you don't just do that with horse. And he said he was sorry that he regrets it and everything, you know, the whole I've done a bad thing, I regret my actions. But I have a simple solution for that. How about you don't do them to begin with? Big surprise. You do if you think, like, before you do an action, always think, what are the worst consequences that I can face from doing said action? If you think that through properly, I mean, of course, for some decisions, it is kind of trivial, and you would do them anyway, like getting dinner. Like, there's really a lot of harm in that. But for big decisions, like, do I want to fuck a horse, you think very clearly, and then you decide, no, because it's immoral, illegal, and what the fuck. Apparently, that man didn't think so. And so he did. And worst of all, the owner of the horse, because it wasn't even his horse, he basically stole a horse.
What the fuck?
And fucked it.
Okay, now it's even worse.
Like, the owner saw on camera that the man climbed onto his field, like hopped the fence, lured his horse, like pulled the horse into stalls. He saw him undo his pants, put something on his genitals, on his penis.
At least he didn't impregnate them.
The fuck? And after that, I think the man himself, the man that fucked the horse, actually also made.
I assume
It gets.
you mean a condom, right?
Yeah, probably. It gets worse. I'm not done yet. Because they have then decided to go ahead and, of course, check his. Because he, the one that fucked the horse, also made a video of it.
What? Why?
So the police check more of his stuff. They find child pornography on there.
uh,
Told you it got worse. So yeah,
mm,
welcome to the
yeah.
Netherlands. It is not good. Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if 20 minutes was long enough for YouTube to not care anymore. And I feel like we should go on to more happy news.
How are we gonna title this episode?
Uh, Dead people in horses. But yeah, onto some more
Horse practice.
There is a saying, beating a dead
Hor-
horse.
Horse ride practice.
No. Now that sounds more like, instead of you fucking the horse fucking you. No, I don't want to think about that. No.
Because I think most people would think of like riding the horse,
Yeah,
like
you do it on.
actually, like piloting it.
Yeah, I know.
Because you pilot a horse clearly.
Yes, you need your you need your license for it. You need to become a pilot and be able to fly
Do you need a license
airplanes.
to ride a horse? I would not be surprised if you do, to be honest.
I don't think you do actually,
No?
but the only people that are interested in really riding a horse are ones that already have had lessons in it, lessons in riding.
Are you sure?
Well,
I'm sure there's some like Saint Nicholas cosplayer out there.
then you have to look that up to see if it's allowed.
If it's allowed, we're putting a horse in my backyard.
Not in the
Actually, no.
hallway.
Now, you know how fucking expensive it would be to take care of a horse?
Yeah, exactly. That's why not a lot of people have them anymore, because a car is way cheaper. Or a bike.
Wait, is that a
Also,
goldfish? Wait a minute.
also,
Hold up.
funny thing. Like, people are saying that, like, the car is the ultimate mode of, like as a mode of transport, it's the one for freedom, right? A car gives you a lot of freedom. But in
Yeah.
reality, it's a bike. You have
True.
barely any regulations, apart from maybe put some lights on it.
Well, apparently in Amsterdam you can now get a speeding ticket.
Yeah, but that's if you have a fat bike, or
Is it only for fat bikes? 'Cause
or
they were gonna
probably an
do it
e-bike as
for all
well.
bikes. They were
If
gonna
you,
do it for all bikes.
I hope they're gonna do it for all bikes that are electric.
Yeah,
Because
no, but they were gonna do it for all bikes.
yeah, because the thing is, right, which I would say it should only be for e-bikes. A normal bike, you are the engine. Like, the bike can go as fast as you can get it to go. If you can't push the bike fast enough, then it won't go that speed. It is simple. But for e-bikes, you can easily push those way faster than they should legally be allowed. And that's the real problem that they face. And that's partially why that's hopefully why they would allow that speed limit to happen, especially for fat bikes. Those things just speed everywhere.
It's almost like that's in the name.
And it also makes you fat. Because guess what? It's a fat bike. You barely have to do any pedaling yourself. That's the most pathetic part. You barely have to do the pedaling. All you have to do is just, you know, nothing. Like you do nothing, boom. Suddenly all your fat bike, suddenly you are doing like 30 kilometers per hour. And that's, to me that just seems double. Or like it troubles me. I struggle with that. As a person that has a normal bike without a battery inside, because screw e-bikes, I will keep my bike until it completely breaks in parts, and then I'll buy a new normal bike, so that won't bother me anymore.
Didn't you just buy a new bike?
Yeah, I
'Cause it
recently buy a
broke?
new one, but this time maintenance will be a lot more regular. Like I'll actually think of oiling up my chain, which is one thing. Like make sure that the chain is properly tensioned. Like
Oh shit, yeah.
because that's what I ran into. I didn't keep my chain tension properly, which caused wear, which meant the bearing that was keeping everything together, like the bearing that's on your crank with pedals, like that bearing got messed up. And in the meantime, not all parts are aluminium, so they rusted a lot. Like my spokes were just rusty. And that's also a problem.
So I realized I should probably check if we have oil, and if not, I should buy oil
For your bike.
for the sword.
Also, don't forget to buy oil for your bike.
Nah.
Like make sure your bike is oiled up so you can drive it for longer. At least clean it. Prevent, like the reason you oil your chain is to prevent rust from forming.
Yeah, but
Otherwise you get a rusty chain. Rusty chains cause more wear on the other parts, and that results in more broken parts, which then means you have to do more maintenance. Like it's a whole, like only doing a little bit of maintenance already saves up so much. Like even with a car or something as simple as a bike, just every piece of equipment, make sure it's maintained properly. Like make sure that whatever goes on with it, it's gonna keep you going. Otherwise you are getting the problem of, oh no, my chain fell off while I'm going to an important meeting, or I need to go there but my car doesn't run because is broken down. You don't want to run into those problems during critical times, right? You don't want that. That's why you do preventative maintenance. That's the entire reason you do it. And yet there are a lot of people that don't because, well, they just don't. Oh, they. And to be fair, I didn't do maintenance on my previous bike as well, which caused all the issues that I was facing. Which is why I say, do your maintenance. Yes, it will cost more money over time eventually, but not nearly as much as actually, you know, buying a new one every 3 to 4 years. Like buying a new bike every time or buying a new car every time. Like buying new gear gets more expensive if you have to do it every 4 years. Also, You are fighting against the wasteful society that we have built. Like the, oh, I'm just gonna buy a new one. If you can get
Yeah.
out of that mindset, incredible. And
I
something you should.
I don't understand why people do that.
Yeah, I mean, like with things like a car, maybe purchase it secondhand and make and you know, yeah, it will break down more easily, and no, it won't last as long as it should when it was new, but it isn't new. It's secondhand. You should see that, and you do. You should see that coming. Then that things are not gonna last. But that's the beauty of it. You also, if you are handy with your hands and you can actually, you know, do some maintenance yourself, you can learn stuff. Like you can learn, how do I maintain my bike properly?
You are expecting things of people right now.
Like how to keep it, how to make sure that nothing breaks. That is that so difficult to do.
Yes.
Making sure that whatever piece of equipment you have doesn't fully break down after 2 years. Purely because I want people to have the experience of owning their product. Also, go for, like, when you go for stuff, make sure that if you buy, you actually own it. That's because apparently that's the problem these days with buying, not being owning.
I think that's just in the Ubisoft industry.
And Nintendo, and in the gaming
No,
industry in general.
no. Nintendo, you can just buy games.
Oh, you mean the physical cartridge that is actually just a code you use to download the game, which means they can still just take it away
I don't
at
think
any
it's
time.
just the code. I'm pretty sure it has the actual game on it.
I'm
Because
not
if
sure
you
if.
use it, you don't have to download anything. Like you just pop it in and play.
Hmm, I guess. I guess the code was just for sharing, I think, then. Like to share the game with others, which they used an entirely different method from one that was already working that they already had. Because apparently that's a smart idea. To get rid of something that's working well and change it into something that doesn't work. Because why would you go for something that works, right? Maybe you find something that earns more money, more profit. Because that's what it's all about these days. Money. Just how much profit can you make? How much money can you squeeze out of the consumer? As a company, that's kind of understandable because, well, you need money to stay afloat, but if your company makes like 2 billion in profit, do you really need to raise prices? Can you not just keep them low for a little bit like the brand Arizona does with their drinks being 99 cents for forever instead of moving up, like becoming like $2 or more expensive? Because that keep by keeping your, because what the Sea of Arizona basically said was, we've already we've made it already. Like he said that, like, we have enough money already at the top. We don't. I'd rather take a cut in profit than raise prices, which shows the
Hmm.
intentions of the company, which I stand behind. Like, you have a product, the product is good, people buy the product. Nice. But now you have a choice. Do you raise prices, maybe lose some customers but gain more money? Or do you decide that you're gonna keep prices the exact same, hoping that the like hoping that the like up top they will allow it for a pay cut in exchange for people being happy that, you know, the price of your product doesn't go up, so they can keep living and not have to spend more money on the stuff they use and they like and they need. And eventually, because that just pushes people into poverty. Of course, you have a wage increase, you can ask for a raise, but not all companies will do that, and not all companies will allow that. Now, the company also has to make a profit still. But yeah, if you can, just buy stuff that either lasts long or is easily repairable, even if you don't know how to fix it yourself. If enough people buy stuff that can be repaired, then companies will pop, then more like shops will pop up. Like I think we've seen it a little bit with phone stores, like phone repair places. Like all of a sudden, those shops were around because there was technology and that broke down and needed repairs. But doing it officially is difficult. So being able to do it like quickly in the center, like in the city center, is strategic and smart. Because all of a sudden, you can just go out, get your stuff repaired, go back in, like walk in, gets fixed, maybe it takes like a day, maybe two. You walk back out, you walk back with your fixed phone, like let's say your screen is cracked, and boom, done. Instead of having to go wait multiple weeks for the company to fix your stuff. Which is probably how Apple does it. Like you actually have to wait for them to fix it. Instead of allowing third parties to do it. Because even if they have third parties that could do it, Apple is a big fan of shutting them down. Like shutting down the repair companies.
Yeah, I know.
And basically, and overall, just being an asshole to their own customers. Basically saying, "Oh, you're gonna buy our stuff anyway. It doesn't matter." Because that's the thing. People will buy it anyway. It doesn't matter. There will always be people that are wasteful. So if you design the products to be either easily repairable, easily like fixed, cheap, and generally better for the environment, and have a good waste system, then maybe the people that do throw their phone away, like just recycle their old phone. Like maybe they bring it to like a second-hand store, and then they repair the phone, clean it up, and you get the whole refurbished deal that that companies had, that was a thing for a while with especially iPhones. The whole let's make stuff let's get a refurbished phone. Like that was, I think, for a while like almost a hype. that's something that's good. That's something needs to be brought
Also,
back.
are you also getting sick of those like ads where the Samsung like the flip phone thing?
I don't really watch ads. I have an ad blocker, but I've seen a couple of them. So yeah, I do get annoyed by it.
I don't understand. I just don't. Why the fuck would I want that? I don't get it.
Like a flip phone, like I get it. It's a novel idea because back in the day, the flip phones, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it from that, but even then, like my phone's just fit in your pocket. Like it's not. But the thing is, it has like a little screen. When you like fold it up, it has like a little screen on the outside, and then you fold it open for like the full screen.
Yeah,
Why the fuck would I want to use that little screen?
that is a good question.
What do I? A phone screen is already tiny as shit.
It depends on what kind of phone you have. They do different sizes, but
Well, yeah, but just an average smartphone.
compared to a stuff like a computer, yeah.
So why would I want to then half that
Well, you're not really halving it.
with
You have like a normal sized phone that you can flip open.
yeah, but why would I want to use the half screen on it?
Um,
Because what would I do with that? You know how annoying typing would be on that?
I would say because you like taste, but
What do you mean?
well, you decided to get a flip phone probably for the
All like that.
nostalgia feature. Like you got the phone that's kind of bad. Like you probably bought it because you thought the gimmick was cool, but are now suffering from it.
Like that.
Like I need a new phone decently soon because I won't be getting security updates, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm looking. I have a Samsung right now, and I'm currently looking for something like a Fairphone or another brand of phone that allows easier repairs. Like, yeah, you will lose some of the IP rating, so it's less watertight. You will be noticing a change in that. Like that's something you will suffer from to begin with. The fact that it won't be as watertight as like a sealed phone, because guess what? It's not sealed. But yeah, that's like I'm willing to sacrifice that tiny little bit of convenience that I never even made use of. Like, oh no, my screen got a little wet. I always have a case and a screen protector around it. Because I know myself. I can occasionally drop my phone. Everybody does. So putting a case on top of over your phone immediately already protects it from falling, but what if it falls flat on the screen? And your case is not that good. Well, congratulations. That's what a screen protector's for. It protects your screen from possibly your keys that are in this if they're in the same pocket. It basically makes your phone almost indestructible. There's a fly in my room and it's really annoying.
Kill it.
Well, I would, but I kind of have to focus right now.
Kill it with fire.
No, because that's gonna be burning down the house.
And no, if you just place a candle, they'll fly into it.
And because I'm living in an apartment, it's also gonna burn multiple people's houses down, and we don't want that.
No, you just place a candle and they'll fly into it.
No, I still. You know what I'm gonna do, because I still need to actually order some arms for both my monitors and my camera. Jim will know why. Because the current setup for my camera is scuffed, to say the least. And I'll probably get an electric bug zap, like a bug zapper, in there as well, so I can just hold it up and wait for the little zap of a fly flying into it. Which would be funny, honestly. It would just be like you hold it up, fly flies against it, zap, done. And with money, like that does cost money, but because I'm gonna have a job hopefully soon, that should solve the problem. And I also did realize that because we're engineers and we're working at companies that are in like the metal and technical back of like secondary like job stuff, things like vacation days, we get a lot of them. Like I think you get 27 vacation days and like 13 general like days where a couple of them are already probably planned in if your company's shut during the winter, during like Christmas and everything. And that basically means you have 8 weeks off per year. That is pretty good. And of course, it depends on if your company does both the theory and the practical side. Like the company that I want to work at does have both. They do cryogenics, which they make stuff cool. They make stuff cool with cool stuff.
Do they make fridges?
No.
Oh.
They make things for like an ice factory, like ice cream. They basically are a company for like, you have this gas and you want it to be a liquid and you want it moved. Then through a pipe. Then you get like multiple pipes within a pipe. Because it's all vacuum insulated, because good luck getting anything through if there is a vacuum. Like, isn't space very cold?
I wonder, is space cold, Joe? That's literally... You literally die in 1 minute of freezing in space, Joe.
Yes, because there's basically nothing in there to transfer the heat.
Yeah, and then if you survive that, you burn because of the sun, because there's no protection, and then if you survive that, you, like, suffocate.
Because of the lack of air.
Yeah. Space sucks.
Well, guess what? Even though it sucks, we're in it.
Samus better have a good, like, heating system in that power suit.
You know what's funny to say? That we're basically a lot of people hurtling through space on a massive rock.
Yeah, we are.
Like, that's humanity. Just a bunch of people hurtling through space on their rock. And do we have anything to do with that rock? Well, we're using all its resources and then heating it up. Because apparently environmental disasters are not enough of a wake-up call to a lot of people. I will not have that rant again about saving the environment. I already had it a couple weeks ago. What I'm just gonna say is, if you don't want to completely melt over the next couple of years, you better go save the climate. So go take the bike. Go take a car. Not a car, actually. Go take a train. Just... yeah. That's pretty much all I have to talk about. I don't know if you have any news. Oh yeah, I don't have to talk about this, but I had it on my phone. Belgian news. Because the Belgians have done something, which is actually positive. Like they have a new colleague within their government. A cat. They basically now have a cat within the Belgian government.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
Like, does it actually have a station, or is it just like a pet?
Probably just a pet, but
Okay.
they probably gave it like an official name and everything. Like,
Okay.
it's our colleague.
Yeah.
A cat.
Now, if for the people who think that that was a weird question, I'll have you know that I don't know if he's like the president or the king or whatever he is. I don't even remember what country he was from. I think he was from like an African country or Middle Eastern country. He assigned his dog as the military like leader, basically. Also, the guy lived in a German hotel thousands and thousands of kilometers from his country that he's supposed to be ruling.
Yeah.
And then eventually Germany kicked him out because they were like, you can't just rule your fucking country from here.
Also, have you... probably a weird question, but have you... I'm not sure if they're still around, but I think it was the Irish president's dogs? Well, I could almost get... the flies on the F6 key. I'm gonna see if I can slap it. Let's hope it doesn't close the recording. It flew away. Damn it. But yeah, like, I think the Irish president's dog, like, I've seen a video about it, and the dog was just, like, continuously asking for attention while the guy was giving a speech. Like, didn't even let the man finish his speech, but just... So he was just sitting there, one hand on the dog, because the dog wanted attention. Where'd the fly go? The fly's on a piece of paper. Die! I missed again. The fly's too quick. Like, I actually need a fly swatter. But... Shall I see if we have more news?
No, I'll check it out a bit. Because you're playing right now.
Well, I can look away from it a little bit. That's not a problem.
Wait, really?
Well, I'm currently looking away from it.
Huh.
I mean, pretty soon I won't be able to because I'm driving.
Driving tanks that easy, huh?
Well, I'm using 4 keys on a keyboard, so...
The fuck?
Well, that's what happens when you're not looking. Oh yeah, I guess we also have stuff to talk about. A CEO at a concert.
Wait, what?
There was a Coldplay concert because, of course,
Yeah.
and there was a CEO there who was with the head of HR. They are both married. Bless you.
Okay.
Not to each other. And they had a kiss cam.
Okay.
And guess what happened?
They kissed.
No, the kiss cam focused on them, and they both immediately ran away. Like they both turned away in embarrassment because they had been
Okay.
found out, and the internet, of course, loved it. Like they ate that shit up.
Okay.
It's the internet, of course. They love it when a CEO goes down. Slight hint to the United Healthcare CEO that was last year. You know that one. But yeah, that if you're going to have an affair, don't do it with don't do it at a Coldplay concert where they have a kiss cam.
Oh wait, is it like
Like the
was it like
strong
for the audience or whatever?
yeah, like it's a kiss cam where they focus on like two people in the audience that look like a couple, and then they have to kiss.
Oh.
It's on my
Oh,
speaker.
I get it now. Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get him. Damn it, missed.
And why would they not be allowed to have?
Well, if you're having an affair, if you're both married, and you are then cheating on, like you're both cheating on their respective partners, then yeah. Also, that CEO resigned already. Like he was very like, I'm done. I'm gone before this gets messier. Like he got put
Okay.
on leave and then resigned, and the head of HR, I think was also put on leave, but hasn't resigned yet.
I mean, that works, I
But
guess.
I sure as shit would. It like you will never be trusted ever again because they will all see you as the one that the two that you will see as the two that cheated at a Coldplay concert. It's that bad. Yeah, that's the whole CEO thing. And we're just an hour in. Shall we do some controversial stuff that might get us banned from the United States for a while?
Oh no. Okay. Well, here it comes.
A certain list, some files, if you may, with names on them.
Oh, I did hear about this. I don't know. I don't actually know what it is, but I did hear something about it. Yeah.
The Epstein files, or the Epstein list. A
Wait, does this still have to do with that island?
Yes, the like
Yeah. Okay. Then I did.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein,
Okay.
the one that had the island where even Stephen Hawking was on, apparently,
Yeah.
where they
No,
did
okay.
stuff to underaged
Yeah.
women.
Yeah. Yeah. But we talked about this earlier on this podcast as well. That there was like a thing between Trump and Musk, because Trump wanted to like release that list, and then Musk didn't do it. And then eventually it was revealed that the reason he hadn't done it is because Trump is on that list.
Yeah, that's why the list, according to Trump, doesn't exist anymore.
Ah,
Like
I
Trump has
see.
denied its existence.
Right.
Because, of course, that's what you do. Because you're on the list, and that basically means you're a pedophile. And the world doesn't like them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that means that, whoops, you now have some trouble. With the entire thing being, like, first, like, it's the funny thing is, right, in the beginning they were all like, release the list, release the files, all that stuff, but as soon as it was made clear that Trump's name was on there, all of a sudden the files don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And it was all fake.
Yeah. Well.
Like that, it's funny how that changes.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, at a Trump rally, somebody held up a picture of Trump and Epstein together, and Trump immediately lost his shit.
Okay.
Which is just funny to me.
Yeah, it's fair.
Because of course he immediately gets mad about it. It's, although I hope that he doesn't get re-elected, because, well,
He can't.
that's what you think. You think he isn't working on trying to get re-elected for a third term?
Well, for that he would need to literally change, like, the fucking, what's it called?
Yeah, the Declaration of Independence was it probably?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I assume that's that. Yeah.
Yeah, but there have, like, the thing is, right, that sometimes confuses me. There are amendments that are basically just changes that have been made to the Declaration of Independence because, things change. But that is apparently not really a thing to think about anymore, to change the laws for more current times. Which should be done. Like, times change, laws should change with them. To prevent, like, future issues.
Yeah.
That could stem from letting it go too far. But yeah. Apparently, changing those fundamental laws isn't something they do anymore. Which just,
I think they can, but you need to get so many people behind you, like, it's just pretty much impossible.
yeah, pretty much, but still not impossible.
No.
Like, it should still be a very much possibility to change those laws to reflect the times that we find ourselves in these days. Because it's a lot different than the times that they started, like the 17 and 1800s or 1900s. Like, times are, it's a lot of different. There's a massive difference in time and in ruling. Like, it's a difference that should, in theory, be upheld. You have technology that changed. You have a bunch of things that over time change and everything. That's why you have MatPat in the US government now, or at least trying to work together with them. Yes, the MatPat from game theory. He is there for, like, technology. With the whole how do we protect people on the internet, because it's still a wild west,
Yeah.
especially children. I'm very glad we grew up with not being on the internet for our early lives, and then like I'm not sure about you, but I got my first phone. Like I had a tablet before, but I got my first phone around, I don't know, probably when I was like 11, and even then I wasn't allowed to take it with me outside. Like only when I got to secondary school, like that's when I got to take my phone with me, because that's when you actually need it. And that
Yeah.
from that point onward, like as a kid, I ran around, ran outside, you did all the stuff children do or should be doing, like ride a normal bike instead of an e-bike. Run around, fall, do dumb shit, get hurt a little bit, but overall stay like active. And yeah, now you have the internet, and we are old enough to know what to do and what not to do. Unless it's talking about a scam.
Are we?
Well, I am. I'm not falling for a scam about somebody from Microsoft calling me all of a sudden.
Are we responsible enough to have internet?
Possibly. Can be up for debate. I mean, as I said, as long as people aren't falling for scams. Jim?
I didn't fall for it, and nothing happened.
You almost fell for it. Like, I think if your parents didn't intervene, you would.
They didn't
You.
intervene. School intervened. I had to go to school.
Yeah, technically school. Yeah. But if it wasn't for school, if you had a day off, you would have definitely gotten scammed.
Yes, probably.
Of course, Microsoft doesn't. Like, I've at one point had a phone call from so-called Microsoft. Like, that was the only word I really understood, because there was a thick Indian accent talking about Microsoft. And I already knew that, first of all, Microsoft doesn't call you about stuff. They'll probably just send you an email and then forget you ever existed. So that's a good thing to remember if you are ever getting a call from somebody claiming to be Microsoft. I think they do have a phone service, but you have to call them instead of them calling you. And also, if they ask, like, especially if it's a bank and they ask for your information,
Well,
that's
no,
even.
I don't fall for bank scams. Those.
No, that's even funnier. Like, the bank is asking for my bank information. Shouldn't they have that already?
Actually true. No,
Like,
here's the thing. If there's anyone who never calls you, it's the bank.
yeah, they might send you an email saying, "Hey, there's some important news. Check your app." But you call the bank. The bank doesn't call you. Especially not asking for money or asking for a deposit. Like, that's. Luckily, we grew up with the fact that we know that that's a thing, but previous generations don't. So that's like, I still remember an ad. Like, this was an anti-scam ad that they ran, which basically was just a guy popping in at random moments screaming, "Hang up, close the tab, call your bank." Just because if there's any suspicious thing, with the bank, just say, I will call you back. Call your bank up saying, hey, were you guys just calling me? And then they are like, no, we weren't. We don't do that shit. And they were like, okay, thank you. They tried to scam me, but now now I'm not
Yeah.
calling them back. Do you want the number?
Some
Or
banks even have that as a thing in their like app right now that you can just check to see if they are currently calling you.
yeah, so you can just very quickly check your phone. Although I guess for some people it would be difficult if they have to do things on their phone while they're calling with that same phone,
No, you
which
can.
you can just do. Like you can just
Yeah.
press the power button and just do stuff on your phone. You might want to put it on speaker if you do that though, so that you can still communicate. But
Yeah.
otherwise, it's pretty much normal.
Yeah. No. Okay. But okay. Should I explain how I nearly got scammed? Because it is more convincing than you think it might be. Because yes, it's like, oh, Indian accent. Oh yeah.
No,
Here's
it
the
was
deal.
like you didn't
They
get an Indian accent, probably.
I kind of did.
Oh, then
But
it's even worse.
no, no, but you don't get it. Yeah, they call you, and then it's like, hey, check your computer, and then they like go to here and here and here, like in your settings. I don't remember exactly where this even was, but it was like in your settings somewhere. Or not in your settings, in your. I don't even remember where you find it in your system. And then there's it. They bring you somewhere where there's a bunch of error messages. Now, those error messages, every computer has them. That they are standard. That's just what happens. But if you don't know that, and like, why would you? Unless unless you are like a software engineer or whatever, you will know this stuff. But obviously, I saw that and was like, oh, there's actually something wrong.
Yeah,
And then from there, they take you. But then I had to go to school, so they couldn't do anything. But.
yeah. And then once you got back, I guess you told your parents and
Well, already on the way to school, I was like, that was kind of odd.
huh.
It's just that in the moment, it's like you don't really think about it.
And you're seeing all those error codes on your phone or your PC actually that are just like
Yeah, but that's what had me doubting it, right? Because I was like, well, there are error messages. And then I asked, our teacher, like, Adolf, and he was like, yeah, no, every computer has that.
hmm. They probably asked why you were asking that question.
Yeah,
And then you explained, probably.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then he probably got very scared.
Why would he get scared? He just laughed.
Yeah, that as well, but it could also be a massive security breach
Yeah, no,
of.
but they didn't get to do anything. School actually saved me.
Yeah, that's why you go to school, so you don't get
Yeah.
scammed.
Yeah, people go to school. You can't get scammed.
Like, you
Actually, you
physically
don't.
don't get scammed because you have to go to
No, you
school.
no, you can get scammed at school by like bullies or something.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot more difficult. If you have to actually move to school for them to scam you on your PC, which you then turn off.
Actually, school already scams you. Have you seen prices in the canteen?
Yeah, in like cafeteria, stuff's expensive.
Yes.
As it's always expensive. Like that's why you go to the grocery store nearby. Almost died, but okay. But yeah, the cafeteria food is expensive. Go to the grocery store like close by. Like that's the best advice I can give somebody that just goes to school for the first time. Like just do that instead of the whole I am now going to spend €5 every day on cafeteria food that's the same quality as a supermarket that I can go and spend €2 at, saving me €3 a day. Like, you can do that. You're unless like what they did at my secondary school. For the first year, you were not allowed to go outside of school, like school property. Like you had to stay there. Like you were not allowed to get off that terrain for any reason. Like only for like leaving the school building and like probably in emergencies, but apart from that, you were not allowed to leave. Only during the second year were you allowed to leave school property during like breaks and everything. Which is, I guess, a security thing. You don't want like a freshman just. You are like 12. You are very much weak and easily taken. So I guess they want to protect you from any trouble, possibly, which is good. Only when you're older will you actually get to go off the terrain, be a member of society a little bit, go to the shops, enjoy beverages like Coke and other soda related beverages, which your parents probably don't want you to drink all the time, but you do anyway. Because of course, you're a child. This is a predicament I find myself in. Yeah, those were good. Those were good school times, actually. I do kind of miss those times because they were a lot easier than what we're going to be doing now, which is engineering. You know, just learning English is a lot less difficult than, you know.
You don't want to know how fucking painful the project I currently have is becoming.
It's probably quite painful.
The assembly is just so massive, so anytime I need to change something, it just takes like 30 years to load.
Yeah, that's probably why you make sub-assemblies to work on.
I have!
Are they still that massive?
Well, here's the thing. I have... It's a thing for a dam, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta move water like 50 meters up, nearly 60 meters up, right?
That's pretty high.
So I have a model of this dam, but it's a very scuffed one because it was a scan. Like it was like scanned with like a drone or something, right? That was then. Well, first we tried it with the actual scan, just turned that into an STL, loaded into SolidWorks. Yeah, no, that doesn't work because well, normally it's too big. SolidWorks can't load it because it's too big. So then we cut off a bunch of shit, and then I could load it, but then you just don't see anything because it's made of so many polygons that you just don't see anything, right?
Unless you zoom
So
in.
then, so then my colleague, like basically made a simplified version. He like drew over it in like in SketchUp, so it's all flat. Okay, I can work with that, but it's still massive.
Yes.
So I import that, and then I make that into an assembly, and then I have a sub-assembly with the actual thing in it, right?
Yeah.
But then I gotta position that.
Oh, yeah, gonna have to put the sub-assembly down. Yeah.
So
You're
I
gonna,
gotta position that, which moving that around is pretty painful because you gotta get it on the correct angles, and then then the angle changes. But here's the thing: not all the angles change, so I gotta change the angle on the actual like on the dam, but then I also gotta go into the subassembly to adjust another angle so that everything lines up properly again. And it's just it's a lot.
yeah, that's generally what happens with assemblies that get quite big. You are
Yeah.
going to be suffering a lot,
Yeah.
and people.
Also, remember, I think like last week, I was like, yeah, they asked me for something and I don't know why they even want it, and they're like, now they're concerned that we're late
Yeah,
when I can make this in like 2 days. Yeah, okay, so I did that and I sent it. And then they were like, no, 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 we want this. And I didn't get it. I was like, well, I sent that, right? And today we had a meeting. And he was like, yeah, no, we want it like this. We want it from this. It's so the thing is like a pipe, right?
yeah.
With like a bunch of stuff in it to actually make it work the way that it does. Um, and so I thought when they said cross section, oh, they want a cross section of the side view to see what's in, right? What's in it.
Let me guess. They want a cross section of the pipe.
They wanted a cross section, indeed, of basically like sort of the front of the pipe. And then I was like, but that's on the drawing? Because that's what I used to actually cut it off and make the cross section. It's right there next to it on the right.
Hmm.
And so I asked him, like, can you just open the thing? And he opened it, and then he was like, oh, it's there.
Communication.
Yeah.
People tend to struggle with communication. I figured that out today because as I was calling to get that second arrangement with the company, I was calling. Of course, I was calling around lunchtime because who gets out of bed at an early time? You know,
I
I
do.
call
I
around.
need to go to work.
So I call around lunchtime. Well, of course they're at lunch. So I get asked to call back. All right, fine. I just called it an inconvenient time. I will just call back to make sure that I can, I guess, just. Yeah. However, the person I was apparently calling with when I called back was not the person I needed, but was on the same number. It was the same phone number. So that was that problem as well. And after clearing that up, like, oh yeah, you want to talk with me? Can we solve? Do you want to go for our next? They said that the pay will be below my expectation, but it will also give me enough growing opportunity because I will still be a, you know, very new guy. I will not just be the one that has 10 years of experience. I have 0 years I have maybe 1 year of experience.
Arguably. Debatably.
I I am not the person that is like 18 years with 20 years of experience.
Yeah.
You know, that no. Even though that does sound kind of funny, that is simply not it. So yeah, that's. But hey, I hope that the job that I will have, it's gonna pay less, but as previously stated, it is gonna give me a lot more like days off, and I value those a little bit more. I like my time off instead of working a long time and having barely any days off, but the pay is good, so you keep working. And then you die an early death due to all the stress, and you didn't get to spend your money.
You should just do it like me, where you have both.
Probably gonna get around equal pay. But yeah, that's all gonna be next. Ooh, I have the meeting is gonna be next Tuesday, the second time. So next podcast will be recorded on a Tuesday again. Today's Thursday because I'm moving shenanigans. I was at my old house on Tuesday evening, so yeah. But hey, next week I get to talk about how the second meeting went and if I have the job. Which means I don't have to call 2 recruitment agencies to say, whoops, sorry, already have a job. You don't have to look for any jobs anymore. Bye. Because of course. Otherwise they're going to keep looking for me, keep calling me about job opportunities while I'm at my new job. And I don't want to do that to them. So, yeah. But Jim, do you have anything to talk about anymore, or are we out of subjects to talk about?
How long have we been going?
1 hour and 32 minutes.
Right. So that's probably also like a good time to start wrapping it up.
Hold on, the fly's on my hand. It flew away. It's on my phone holder. No, it's gone again. I guess I'll go hunt a fly after this.
I'm hoping that next time we record that I have a sword on my wall.
It's on my monitor. I'm not gonna hit it on my monitor.
Why not?
Because I'm not willing to
recreate that clip. Recreate that clip of the guy punching through his monitor.
Ooh, I have an idea. I need to get really good with a Nerf gun.
You're not gonna nerf a fucking fly.
If it's on the wall, and I
It's
get
not gonna happen. There's no accuracy on those, Joe.
Otherwise, oh, hold on. It's at a place where I can slap it hard. It's on my bed frame. Damn it! It flew away. Oh well. But yeah, I guess it is time to kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like a gift.
So, I'm hoping that next. Oh shit! Yeah, I still need to wrap the gift for you. Hold on.
Yeah, do that. Otherwise, we're gonna have one really wrapped gift and one non-wrapped gift.
I have 3 more weeks to do it. It'll be fine.
So you're gonna do it the last day. Understood.
Maybe, I'm not sure yet.
I'm almost willing to bet on the fact that it's gonna happen.
Okay, how much are you willing to bet?
I'm not gonna bet anything on it because I would be betting on it with you, so that would mean that you can earn a lot of money by doing it not the day before, but that like 2 days before.
I'll bet 100.
Yeah, you are responsible for it, so I'm not gonna.
I'll bet 100 euros.
You know, I'm
the
not.
Last day you get 100.
You know that's the thing. I'm not gonna do that shit because I know you can manipulate it. I'll only make a bet if both parties that make the bet can't manipulate the outcome.
How would I manipulate it? I would just do it immediately after this call.
Exactly. Like you can change the outcome. I'm only willing to make a bet if the outcome cannot be changed by any party.
Why not?
Because I'm smart.
But Joe,
or if I can manipulate the outcome.
Joe.
Yes.
Any good player is a gambler.
Yes, but I'm not willing to gamble if I know that I can lose very quickly by one small action from the opposing player. Because if I make a bet with you about when you're going to wrap that gift, you can do it immediately and I would lose. That's basically guaranteed loss. And I'm going to do that.
Aw.
Like if we're talking about somebody else and we both keep out of it, then yeah. I said I will not make a bet unless either no parties can manipulate the outcome or I can manipulate the outcome. Then I will make a bet. That's why I'll never sell my soul because I'll realize that
Wha-
it's a bad
wha-
bet and
why is my favorite JoJo's episode about this?
just realizing this is a bad deal. I'm not gonna make that deal.
No, it's so my favorite JoJo part is the part with like I forget the name of JoJo in that one, but uh fucking with Kira with Yoshikage Kira. That's my favorite part because he is the best villain because he is genuinely terrifying. But my favorite episode is in I think it is part 3, which is season 2 because obviously
Mm-hmm.
uh against a guy named Darby who does like he gambles and he's like, we're gonna bet and then if I win, I get your soul because he can absorb souls for some reason. And then, if you win, I will tell you where the bad guy is or whatever. And then it turns out that he's like, okay, we're gonna bet. I'm gonna throw a piece of meat, and then you're gonna throw a piece of meat, and then that cat is gonna, whichever one it eats, that person wins. And then he's like, and then it's revealed that was his cat. So of course he won that. And then they play poker. But it turns out that everybody in the vicinity is with him. So it doesn't matter who they pick as the dealer. He will get the good cards. But they don't know that, right? Like the good guys don't know that.
Yeah.
And then Jojo wins through pure intimidation. He just starts like acting as if he may have switched out his cards. He starts betting literally everything, his own soul, his like mother's soul, his friend's soul. And the guy just gets so intimidated that he's like, I'm gonna lose this, and he gives up.
Just bluffing your way through, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, JoJo's rant out the way. I stopped watching JoJo's, by the way. It got fucking childish after the part with Kira.
Yeah. But we should still wrap it up because we are
Yes,
doing the same thing that I
yes.
also suffer from during Discord calls at late nights, where
Yeah,
you
whenever we
say,
go to bed.
yes, you say, well, I should go to bed. And then 1 hour later, I should go to bed.
Yeah,
And then another hour later, you actually go to bed.
yeah. So yeah,
We should wrap it up because
let's wrap it up.
because we can do it with can do it with one saying, with one sentence.
Yes,
We're not experts.
but we were here.
Goodbye.